Alright, dudes. This is an animation by Savy, which I already tried doing this critique once, but unfortunately I'm an idiot and my headset wasn't working at the time when I did. I didn't have the right option set to pick up audio from my headset. So, alright, and it obviously looks very awkward. Got some weird movements going on. We'll watch it one more time for good measure. One more time. I just want to see something. Yeah, you can definitely tell. Let me delete these sound layers. I'm fucking tired. Alright. I'll go ahead and keep, I'll use blue. It's neat. Blue. Alright. First of all, I'm not going to try to spend too much time on repeating things I've already mentioned in previous critiques, because there's a lot of reoccurring issues going on, which is actually kind of bugging me, but I'll let that go. First one is cleaning up. You need to clean up everything. It just looks weird. Here, I'll use F7. Clean up that. I mean, the arm in general, I don't get why your arm would go like that. Whatever. I guess it's your style preference, but it looks really weird. The body, just check this out. Yeah, this is how big the body is right here versus the legs right here. I don't know, I prefer longer legs and a shorter body. Maybe that's style preference, but it still looks very awkward to me, just how it has it, and especially the arm. Something else I've highlighted on before in the past is correct joints. I like the hand, it's a nice addition, but you're not going to justify to me why this should be this much longer than this arm. I mean, look at that. You can say, oh, well, I'm trying to go for, I'm trying to make it look like an angle, like he's at an angle or something like that. Does that look like that's what he's trying to do? No, it just looks retarded, sorry, but it is. Yeah, don't do that. Your joints should be the same length appropriately. I mean, it's anatomy, that's what it is. You can't try to make it something it's not. Again, just cleaning up. You're just skewing it. It's obvious. You should at least clean up, especially if you're going to skew something. Right here in a minute, his head gets really weird. You also need to decrease the smoothness on your brush because of that. That's weird. I don't like that. Yeah, see, you didn't even draw the arm all the way down. Your arm, especially if you have a hand, should come down almost pretty close to your knee. Really, if you're standing up straight, your arm it comes about halfway down your upper thigh, like your thigh. Your arm would end about halfway up here. Your hand would, at least. So yeah, you got some anatomy issues going on there, which is why I would have made the legs up taller, the body shorter, and then the arms appropriately. It would look a lot better. This is weird. The arms are jointed right here. You have a neck on him, but not an apparent neck there, which is fine. Some people like animating with necks, in which case, if you do, at least be consistent with it throughout the entire animation, not just shifting from point to point. I don't like how you did the text either. It's very lazy. Clean up, obviously. Foot placement. See, yeah, this guy, your movements in general, just look at how much you move. You're double framing everything. Why are you animating on 24 frames per second if you're animating at 12 frames per second? Double framing is just knocking it down to 12. I mean, it looks about the same thing. I mean, just use fewer frames for all the text stuff if that's what you're going for. Fast scenes, just learn to animate better. Watch tutorials on movements. You have some really big movement issues going on here. I'll probably end up throwing a few videos together later, more in depth about what I mean, and tagging them onto this. But like, okay, pay attention to the red guy right here. The green guy is sloppy. The whole animation, bad reactions. I'm pointing out there. All right, this is a horrible. You go from this frame to that frame. Where's your easing at? You have none. Look at the arm. Look at the arm resizing. There's none. There's no easing. You like to skew this guy. What I would have done was I probably would have leaned him forward a little bit first. That probably would have been the first thing I would have done. Not really trying to pick on you. I'm just saying. Yeah. Again, cleaned it up. Damn, I'm tired. Yeah, your joint is like right here. You got a neck on this guy, or a bulge, and you got nothing on this guy. Maybe he's got tumors. I don't fucking know. The arm, that's awkward. Then it, look at that. Then the arm bends down like that. Sorry, I accidentally clicked with my tablet. That's why I did that. Look at this. Look at this arm. That's neat. That's very interesting. It's bad. You need more easing. Like, look at this reaction. So you did that in about 5 frames. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 or 5 frames. He's already punching somebody. It would have taken me 8 at least to get the punch off. Yeah, you're doing it pretty quick. I don't really like it when people follow through their arms like that. You have to be careful if you're going to do that. That way you make sure you bring it back and you turn it accordingly, which I don't think you do. No, you just bring it around, which I guess there's really no problem with that. I mean, it's, if you do it right, it'll look good. You can make it look good. You could have added extra detail in here, maybe done the arms on a separate layer. I know I do that when I animate with line tool, maybe not so much brush, but you could have drawn the arm behind the red guy's arm. That extra detail goes a long ways, actually. Or just move the entire red guy's layer above the green dude's. Let's listen to something more intense. Save Me is a good song. Just your movements in general. You're resizing. This green guy is resizing. You have this line in here, your little green line, to keep up with their heads, but I don't think you know that that's what it's for, because this guy right here, the green guy, gets shorter the whole time. This dude's legs, if he were to be standing upright completely, he'd probably be about this tall, if not a little bit taller. He'd be about up here, which that's no bueno at all. If you're going to add those guidelines and stuff in there, use like a grid. Make sure you're utilizing those tools instead of just drawing it there and sending somebody the flash file trying to make it look like you're something that you're not. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on you or anything. It just is what it is, bro. That's neat. Sorry, I outlined that. I'm weird. Shut the fuck up. I don't know what you did there. It looks like you erased something. Anyways, skip forward a little bit. Just easing. You have a very what's it called? Heavy spacing. There's a spacing issue. Which heavy spacing is pretty much when you ease into something and then you animate it pretty quickly, and when you ease out too hard. Like there's too much time in between movements. Like everything's just one movement at a time, pretty much. One movement, one reaction at a time. Whereas what looks better is realistic, smooth flowing movements where every joint has easing, everything has easing. Heavy spacing usually occurs when people ease the body out as a whole. Like if you're gonna bend him down, you'd keep easing everything like it's just one unit, like the body's just, everything eases the same. In which case, in reality, if you're doing a run or something like that, the legs wouldn't have as much easing as, say, like the arms or the back. You wouldn't do that, depending on the movements. Especially with the arms, the legs would be constant, whereas the arms might have heavier easing on them. So you did this punch differently. Just look at his arm. Just it's like you added the green guy in there. I thought he was orange. Had the green guy in there and just sort of tried to fill in the space, which I don't like. Yeah, he got a very weird animation style. Like he just falls awkwardly. The whole thing goes by pretty quickly, which isn't very good. He just catches himself. This kick is my biggest point is gonna be right here on this kick, because there's everything about this whole movement is wrong. Everything. There's not a single thing you did right. Sorry, but it is what it is. Like look at this. Just he bends his leg back already. He's coming in the air. He goes into a spin. He kicks him, and he turns around and he's running back. All right, now you want to know what's wrong. Obviously, check this out. This is the jump here. I'll go from here. There we go. This is where his midpoint is. A lot of people pivot, like pivot animators know what that is. It's pretty much the central point in your figure, especially because it's where everything is connected to. It's you want to pay attention to that. I'm gonna be talking a lot about what's it called? Pretty much like your path of movement, your flow, right here. It has to be smooth. You have to have a smooth path of movement. Like when you're doing a run, like all right, your joint would start here, but as you're doing a run, if you're taking a step, the step to go into the air, you're gonna go like this. That's what happens in a run. You're pretty much your main joint is gonna be right there. That's the path of movement. Each keyframe, you'd be like here in the air. This would be your peak right here, where when you do a run, when you step off with your feet, you start by the force on your leg. You push off. You use the power in your leg to push you into the air, and then gravity is what pulls you back down. You're going to go into the air faster than you're going to fall to the ground, in the sense that you're going to reach this midpoint right here quicker than the leg's going to hit the ground, meaning you have maybe here 2 frames, ease up into there, you have 4 frames there, then you're going to want to slowly ease into the decline. So you should probably have less frames on the jump, on the push of the force, and more frames easing into the midpoint. It's pretty much like tension, like you're bending steel. Like the closer you are to the center of the bend, the more tension you're gonna have. Well, as you get closer to the center, you're gonna want to add more easing, and the farther you get away from the center, you're gonna start spacing everything out more. So back to your path of flow. It has to be smooth. You can't just go from here to there and then just sporadically jump over there. See, it's rigid bends right here in your movements. It's stiff. That's not good. You want it to be smooth. Smooth. It's gotta be smooth around the edges. Can't be just staggered like that. Alright. One word with this. Here's my point. Alright. You're going right there. You're going down. You're going down again. You're back up. And you're across. And you're back. And you're back. And you're back. And you're back. And then you're down there. And then you're up there. See, look at the run up, and then you decline down there. You're right there. You're just sort of dancing across. Maybe you're going back into the air. Yep, that's what you're doing. Alright, sorry, I was at my girlfriend's house, and she has a cat, and I'm allergic to cats. And yeah. Alrighty then. Alright. See how this is going? Now. Oh, nope, he's down there. Alright. with what I just drew right here, following him around, which one is he on 1 or is he on 2? Is it staggered and rigid, or is it smooth? Is it a smooth flow? It's really staggered. It is unbelievable. And you did all of those movements in like 20 frames, 20 to 30 frames. You have no easing. It's like your easing is almost completely absent from this entire animation. That's why usually people animate on higher frame rates, because they're trying to make the animation smoother. Well, in order to make a very smooth animation, you need easing. It's what you need. It's what gets you there. Everybody should know what easing is. I'm not really going to go into explaining what all easing is. Maybe I'll make a video on what easing is, and I'll go through it step by step and why it's important. But other than that, I mean, it's a decent animation. It has a lot of potential to be pretty good, especially even if you cleaned it up. It would have been a whole lot better than what it was, and add maybe like 20 more frames. If the animation had 20 more frames than what it does now, it would have been 3 times better than what it is. Just, you have to ease better. Anyways, that's it for this one, guys. Keep it real. I'm doing Jan Ravnik next, which I like his animation, so that'll be fun.